Good morning. We are in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and somehow, as luck would have it, we picked the worst weekend weather-wise to be in Philadelphia. It is raining cats and dogs, and the wind is very high. So we're trying to do some of the best things to do in Philadelphia. So we're going to truck through the weather and see some of the sights. So let's head to our first stop. Alright, we were originally planning to walk around Philadelphia, but the weather is just not cooperating. We're going to take the car. Our first stop is going to be Rodin Terminal, but don't forget to like and subscribe to our content, and we'll check in once we're there. We made it to Rodin Terminal Market, and even on a rainy Saturday, there's a lot of hustle and bustle right now. But we're going to try to get a cup of coffee, and we'll check back in later once we have that. We stopped to get coffee at Old City Coffee, and I mean the market is very big, a lot of different options here, different food vendors and different shops that you can explore. We also stopped at Termini Brothers here, which is an Italian bakery. We got pine nut cookies and chocolate almond biscotti here. So we're going to taste that out and also kind of explore a little bit more of the market. I mean, it's so huge. I mean, it's hard to spend just an hour here. I mean, I could probably spend the whole day here. Finished exploring the market here, and the food and the drinks are amazing. It's a great way to kick off your start in Philadelphia. You can also grab lunch as well. But we would be remiss if we didn't mention our top favorites. One being Geno's, which is famous for their pulled pork, and then Termini, which we enjoyed their bakery items. But we're also going to explore their main store in the South End. But let's continue to explore the city together. We made it to Love Park here, and it is one of the best spots to get a best picture in Philadelphia. It's right by the city center and the town hall, as well as some great restaurants, bars, and not that far away from the Rodin Terminal. But we're going to take a look at the park and do a loop around it. We made it to Independence National Historical Park, the birthplace of the United States, and it's a pivotal location of where they signed the Declaration of Independence, as well as it was the first capital of the United States. We're going to check out the Liberty Bell, as well as we have tickets later for Independence Hall. Weather permitting, we're going to try and see if we can do or view the historic sites such as Christ Church and Elfreth's Alley. Let's go check out the first site. Liberty Bell was interesting. We also learned a lot about the Centennial Bell, which is the bell that's hanging up in Independence Hall right there, which weighs 13,000 pounds, which is for 13 states that signed the Declaration of Independence.
They were colonies.
13 colonies as well. But you have Old City Hall, and then Independence Hall, and then Congress Hall right here, which we'll check out in a little bit. But first, since the weather is kind of tame for the moment, we're going to try Elfreth's Alley and some of the outside sites. We're here at the museum here in Elfred's Alley, and this is Elfred's house here. And in this house, you had dressmakers make beautiful dresses for the elite class, which is pretty cool. But we're gonna kind of check out the museum. They also have rotating artists, which you see some of the pictures here. So we're gonna look at that and see the museum, which are a couple of different rooms as well as two buildings together. So let's take a look. All right, we finished checking out Elfred's Alley, which is America's oldest residential street. The museum was pretty cool. It was a little short, but it was nice to get inside and get a brief break from the rain. But we're going to head towards Independence Hall since the weather is still not cooperating with us. Our tour here at Independence Hall, and it was really informative. It's about a 20-minute tour. You start where the Supreme Court used to be, and then the Grand Room is where they signed the Declaration of Independence. And they still have the original chair where George Washington sat when they signed the Declaration, and just kind of gave me goosebumps. And it was totally worth the tour, and definitely a really interesting sight to see while you're in Philadelphia. So let's continue on our journey. Two most famous cheesesteak places are Pastries. Even though you can get a cheesesteak anywhere in the city, these are places to come to when you're traveling. And it's just a short distance away from the Italian market, but we're going to try out the cheesesteaks and then give you a review after that. So let's go check it out. All right, the first one that we stopped at is Pat's, which when you go up to the line, you have to be very particular. You have to know what you want, whether you want it with onions, what kind of cheese, and have your cash ready. It's kind of a no-nonsense type of order. And they don't take any credit cards or debit cards, so you have to have cash ready for it. But we got cheesesteak with onions and provolone, which looks like this, which looks delicious. So we're gonna dig in, and then we'll give our review a little bit later, and we're gonna try Geno's as well to kind of get a gist of which one may be better. It's a little bit of a rivalry in Philadelphia. Can I get a cheesesteak with provolone and onions?
Provolone, $12.
All right, we just ordered Geno's here. And we got the same thing, and it was similar to Pat's. You gotta have cash, gotta pick the cheese, gotta pick everything ahead of time, no nonsense with the ordering. But one of the things that we noticed as far as a key difference between Pat's and Geno's, Pat's has kind of like the chopped beef. This is more like kind of like beef slabs, cheesesteak, small slices, slabs. It's not super thin, it's very thin, just to clarify. Well, let's take a look at the steak here. Let's see a little bit of the meat slices right here. But let's dig in. We can see which one is better. Just tear it apart.
Well, you have to pick one, so which one do you think?
Why can't I like both?
Gotta pick one.
This is like asking who's your favorite child. That's what this is like right now.
It's always a favorite. So, what do you think?
I've always had chopped, so if I had a slight edge, that would maybe be my preference, which is Pat's. So my recommendation is to come here and try both and see what you like.
Start the store 101 years ago.
Wow.
His son continues with the store, and my grandson is on charge. 3 generations.
Oh, okay.
So 101 years. This is the cannoli station. They make everything here for hotels, credit, casinos, and poker store. We have 5 stores.
Yeah.
And that wine mixer is 85 euros.
Wow.
It's still working. And we make everything here for the store.
We were definitely sold on Termini Brothers here. Very personalized experience, and they're famous for their cannolis, which we're gonna dig in a little bit. Totally worth coming out here. They make really good pastries and different bakery items. We got a few gifts here. So we're gonna dig in and enjoy cannoli. We are right outside the Philadelphia Art Museum, and it is an iconic landmark that most people recognize from the Rocky movies. So let's cue that music and head up the steps. Getting the perfect photo right at the top of the stairs at the Philadelphia Art Museum is a must, especially for those Rocky enthusiasts. You can do all different types of poses. We even saw some people that had just graduated. So it's definitely a must do. We're gonna head to the Rocky statue, which is to the right of the museum. And you're walking along the parkway. So let's go see that. Just got our picture here at the Rocky statue, and it's a must do for all the tourists and locals. As you can see behind me, there's a line for the pictures. Even though we didn't get to do the art museum, it's definitely on our to-do list, and hopefully next time we'll be able to check that out. Good morning. We found this nice coffee shop, Elixir Cafe, and got some coffee, cinnamon bun, and chocolate croissant. That way we can re-energize a little bit before we head to our next stop. But we were dead tired after a long day of exploring the city and just surviving the weather. So let's dig in. Run, 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 run. Right behind me, you have the Ben Franklin Bridge, which is one of the most iconic photo spots here in Philadelphia. Even though the weather isn't great, we wanted to come down here and take a look at it, as well as check out a little bit of the pier. But being really chilly, we're gonna head back inside, so let's head back in. Finish our experience in Philadelphia at the Rodin Museum here. There's so much to do in Philadelphia. Some honorable mentions are Eastern State Penitentiary, Longwood Gardens, and Fairmount Park. But if we miss one of your favorite spots in Philadelphia, comment in the section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video, which will be on a scenic train ride through the countryside in New Jersey. But until next time, keep on exploring.